Morning, Colonel Stewart, Captain Willis, ladies and gentlemen. It's my distinct honor to have this opportunity to share some thoughts on 9/11 Remembrance Day with you this morning. Chaplain Lee has me on a tight schedule, so I'm not going to dally. It's become commonplace in our American experience to say, "Where were you when?" For our grandparents, it was, "Where were you when you heard about Pearl Harbor?" It was the start of a dramatic, climatic war, World War II. For our parents' generation, it was, "Where were you when you heard that President Kennedy was shot?" A moment, a striking moment of national solemnity. For our current generation, it was clearly, "Where were you on 9/11? I myself was in Darwin, Australia. It was the evening of September 11th. My Marine Expeditionary Unit was finishing a Liberty call and departing the next morning on a humanitarian assistance mission in East Timor. Our Australian friends immediately recognized the gravity of the situation, and they went around town in their cars, in whatever they could find, gathering up the Marines wherever they were to get them back to the ship so we could get out to sea. I personally feel both lucky and unlucky to have been Oconus, if you will, during the events that happened on 9/11. I miss the pain and anguish, the fear and the uncertainty that everyone at home felt. I was unable to comfort my wife and young daughter that were back at Camp Pendleton. And worse, it honestly took counseling when I returned from my deployment to realize how traumatic and game-changing that moment was for my family and others. But in other ways, I was lucky. I was on the MEU. It was the first one to go into Afghanistan at Camp Rhino, and to begin to extract a sense of justice for the American people. I was a very small part of a marvelous unit that came together as we are trained to do, as Marines and sailors, in order to react when our nation is least ready. That still remains our job in the Corps, and our nation needs us and wants us for it. We're not going to talk about Marine exploits anymore, although they are always a source of pride. Today I want to talk about how each of us come to our own sense of finality with what has happened after 9/11. Clearly, our role to defend the nation has not ended. We currently have over 80,000 Americans in Afghanistan, as well as thousands more around the globe, searching out threats from Yemen to the Sahara, from the Philippines to Pakistan. There is much work to be done. But as many have noted before me, there will be no surrender ceremony on the deck of the USS Missouri. There won't even be a shaky truce as there was in North Korea. No, this is one of the key aspects of this difficult conflict. How do we know when it's over? Where is the sense of finality? Well, in one sense, there isn't going to be any. That is a hard but realistic truth that those in and around the military, as well as law enforcement and emergency providers, have been coming to grips with and will even more in the next several years. We will constantly be on the job, searching out threats to our nation. It is different from past threats that have been posed by nation states, but it is still a real issue. One that we see come to the public's attention suddenly, usually after we disrupt an enemy's plots to do harm to America or its allies. But in another sense, I truly believe we need to each find our own time and stage for moving on from an active fighting in this conflict to more passive on our individual basis ourselves. I have been in this active phase of the conflict for over half my 23-year career. For many of you, this is all you have known during your careers. But rarely have we all been on the hard deployment edge, for good reason. That edge is extremely difficult to maintain. The physical and mental strain and emotional toll are huge and simply too great to weigh on individuals in perpetuity. Many of us look to ours or our spouses' military careers as the end of the active participation in hostilities, as we in the legal field call it. Others will never take off their pack, To those I say good luck and Godspeed. To the rest of us mortals, I have a few words. Thanks. Thanks for your sacrifice, for that of your family. We know that we are the 1% to 2% that currently actively serve, but it's still polite and a right to say thank you. Feel good about what you've done. We have all contributed in different ways. Some did a little more, some did a lot, but all have done some. What you have done for your fellow Americans, as well as others around the globe, has made the world a better place. Finally, let go of hate. This is hard, very hard in some cases. But history has shown that if you don't, you become like the Balkans, fighting for centuries over issues that often result from constant, perennial hatred. No, the better example is our relationship with Japan. The World War II Pacific battles that were fought between our ally and the Marines and the Navy during the island campaigns were at times barbaric and fought at the most primordial level. Yet today, Japan is one of America's strongest allies. We train together, work together, live together. Did that change occur overnight on 15 August 1945? Absolutely not. Today in both countries there are citizens that forever hate the other country and those that live there. Many of them had good reasons for that. Friends in their unit were killed by the other. Air bombing raids that may have killed family. Personal wrongs that the other side did to them. All valid reasons for anger. And quite frankly, applicable to our situation in Afghanistan today. But I look to men like Miyamoto-san. He was a kamikaze pilot in training. His entire family was killed in the Hiroshima bombing on August 6th. He had all the reasons in the world to hate us, but he doesn't. He's a great friend of this base and my family. His story is wonderful, and hopefully one more of you can learn about. But the point for today is he had his time for his war to end. Each of us will need to find ours as well. Anger and passion may stoke the fires for immediate action, but they do not make the fuel for an effective lifetime. And this will be the final message I pass to you today. What is your lifetime from right now going to be? 9/11 that you have seen was a clarion call for many of you. Many of the reasons many of you enlisted. And it will be remembered. It must be remembered. The monuments and museums that have been built, as well as the USS New York, the tower that is going up in New York City right now, will ensure that. But what you do with your life to make sure the world is truly a better place, that is something each and every one of us can start today. I think that will be a meaningful way to remember September 11th. Thank you so much for your time allowing me to speak today. Semper Fidelis, God bless America, and those who defend it.